Diksha, your mathematics teacher, and we'll be continuing with our geometry chapter with part 6. So we all have studied about the solids and shapes and detailed information about these solids and shapes. Now further we are going to move on to the next topic of the geometry chapter, that is point, line and line segment. So the first we are going to study is point. Now what is a point? A dot. We use a dot to represent a point. So whatever is a dot given in geometry, it is known as a point. So this you can see as on the screen given here, a black dot. It is a point. A point has no size. So you can do this point in a smaller size or at a larger size. It has no size. We name it by a capital letter. So a point is always named by a capital letter. So let's give this a name A. You can give any alphabet to this point. So we have given it as a capital letter A. Now here you can see two shapes, rectangle and a triangle. Each corner of the shape which has vertices represents a point. Now, as you all know, we have studied about the vertices in our earlier parts of this chapter. What are the vertices? The vertices are the points of the shape. So, where two lines meet, that is known as a vertex. So, for example, here, as you can see on the screen, the red laser, that is a point. So, here now I will be highlighting the points of the shape. So here you can see a black dot here given on four sides. These are the vertices of the shape and they are also known as a point where the lines of the shape meet. In the same way of the triangle, you can see there are 3 points here at the vertices. So these are the points. So therefore each corner of the shape which has vertices represents a point. So a dot is used to represent a point. A point has no size and we always name it by a capital letter. Any capital letter can be used to represent a point. This we have studied about the point. Next, let's move on to what is a line. A line has no end or beginning. So as you can see here, this line in the red is a line which has no end or beginning. That is the reason why there are arrow marks at the corners of both the lines. That means it has no end and it has no beginning. It's infinite. So therefore a line has no end or beginning. It can be extended to any length. You can draw the line to any length and it cannot have an end or a beginning. So therefore there are always arrows at both the corners of the line. And here A and B given is the point on the line. So you can give the points anywhere on the line. So I have given 2 points here, A and B. So therefore you write line A, B and on the top you put a small line with 2 arrows on the corners. So therefore a line has no end or a beginning. It can be extended to any length. And while naming the line you write it as line AB. This was all about the line. Now moving on to the line segment. Now please pay attention, there are 2 differences in the line segment. Line is different and line segment is different. Line segment is a part of a line. So this is a line segment. So a line segment always has ends. It doesn't have arrows at the end of the corners. So remember, line segment is a part of a line. Line is something that has 2 arrows at the corners, whereas line segment is part of it. It has a fixed length and it has 2 endpoints. So remember, line segment has 2 endpoints and line doesn't have any beginning or any ends. And line segment has fixed length. So as you can see, there is a fixed length here given at the line for the line segment. There are no arrows at the end. That means it cannot be extended further. And the 2 points here are A and B. So these are the 2 endpoints of the line segment. So when you write it as line A, B and at the top you put like this line with 2 points at the end. This was about line segment. So remember, line has no end or beginning and line segment has two end points. This is the difference between the line segment and the line. So we have studied about point, line and line segment. Now let's do an exercise on it. That is the exercise 7b. Read these points. So the first question you have to do is you have to read these points. That is, how do you read these points given here? There is a dot, that is a point, and there is a letter given X. So this you read it as point X. This is the answer. You have to read these points. So the dot that is given is known as a point, as we studied for earlier. And next letter that is given to it that represents the point is X. So therefore it is point X. Next is point M. There is a point and a letter given is M. So you write it as point M. Next is point C. Again the letter representing the point is C. So therefore you write point C. So this is how you read the points. The second question is read these line segments. So there are three line segments given to us. We have to read these line segments. So the first one is P and Q. So we write it as PQ or QP and you put a line on the top. So therefore the line segment will be known as PQ or QP. It could be both the ways. So PQ or QP. Next will be XY or YX. X and Y or YX. You could be anything. And the third one is MN or NM. So remember, whenever line segments are given, you can name it both the ways. The two letters you can inverse it. So it could be for the first one PQ or QP, XY or YX, MN or NM. So this is how you read the line segments. The third one is count the number of line segments in each of the figures given below. So we have a few figures given below here and we have to count how many line segments are there in each figure. So let's take the first one. We have is a triangle that has letters given to it L, M and N. So we have to count how many line segments are there. Now we have studied what are line segments. It is a line which has ends, which has two ends. So that is two ends here for this line, two ends here for this one and two ends here for the third line here. So this is one line LN, MN is the LN is the first line, MN is the second line and LM is the third line. So there are three line segments LN, NM and ML. So there are three line segments in this figure. Next, let's see the second figure. So the first line segment is AB, second BC, third CD, fourth DE, fifth EF, sixth FG, seventh GH and eighth is AH or HA. So therefore we have 8 line segments in these figures. So this is how you have to count the number of line segments. You have to take a line which has 2 endpoints and keep counting the line segments. So the first one had 3 line segments. The second figure had 8 line segments. Let's move on to the third figure. So in the third figure, we'll have the first line segment as UV. Next, VW. Next, third one is WX. Fourth is XY. Fifth, YZ. And ZU will be the sixth line segment. So there are total 6 line segments in this figure. Moving on to the fourth one. The first line segment will be PQ. Second will be QR. Third will be RS. Fourth will be ST. Fifth TU. Sixth UV. And seventh PV. So there are 7 line segments in this figure. So remember, again, as I said, always take the line when it has 2 endpoints and start counting the line segments. You will get a total number of line segments in that particular figure. And the fourth question we have is, so there are 4 questions given, sub-questions given in the fourth question. So the first one is, join these points from A to J. What do you get? How many line segments do you get in all? Name the line segments. So let's start with the first one. Join these points from A to J. So there are these points given to us. We have to join these points according to the alphabets. The first is A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E, E, F, F, G, G, H, H, I, J, J, A. So we have joined these points from A to J. So the first question is done. Second question is, what do you get? So as you can see in the figure, we have got a star. So we have got a star. That is the answer. A star is what we have got by joining these points from A to J. Third question, how many line segments do you get in all? Now we have to count how many line segments we have got, as we have done in just the earlier question. We have to count the line segments. So let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So we have got 10 line segments in this figure of a star. The next question is, name the line segments. Now all we have to do is we have to name the line segments. So we have seen how to name the line segments. AB, the first one, BC, CD, DE, EF, FG, GH, HI, IJ and JA. So these are the name of the line segments. So this is how you solve the question when all the questions are given in one question. First, what we did with, we joined the points from A to J. Then we figured out or identified which figure we had got. So that was a star. Then we counted the line segments we got in total, that were 10. And then we had to name the line segments. So you just have to name the line segments given here. So this was all about the point, line and line segments. Further, we'll continue with the next video. Thank you.